So today, today's video, we are going to talk about how to build muscle as a beginner. So when you first starting off as a beginner or novice, fitness might be very confusing for you. It was for me as well at first, very confusing. And today I'm going to make it a bit understandable for you and how to actually grow muscle in a much more effective manner without actually wasting your time and your money as well. So hence today I'm going to give you 5 important facts or 5 important points that will help you a lot in your fitness journey in order to reach a in order to be jacked. So the first point that I'm going to talk about is resistance training. So what do I mean by this exactly? So resistance training are basically exercises that put a lot of stress on your muscles. So for example, weightlifting, or even resistance band exercises, or even calisthenics. That's like bodyweight exercises, so like push-ups and stuff like that. Then triggers. So these sort of exercises triggers muscle growth within you. So when you lift like weights or perform resistance exercises such as body calisthenics or bodyweight exercises, you create microscopic damages to your muscle fibers. Basically, small damage to your muscle fibers, and in which case you these muscle fibers, when you tear them or do damage to your muscle fibers, they need time to repair, right? So you have to give. That was the next point come to play, which is rest and recovery. So after you have damage your muscle fibers by going to a gym or doing certain exercises such as like weightlifting, things like that, you have to get adequate amount of rest as well as recovery. So you can get rest like 2 days of rest or something like that, depending on the intensity of your workouts. Or and also you should think about getting around like 2 to 3 minutes of rest between every set. This is really important. You can't just do one set and just immediately go to another set, because doing this is not good, because it's going to be very hard. You're going to be very fatigued in the next set, and it's not going to put much more intensity into your muscles and going to get rid of the effectiveness of your workouts. So in order to make your workout much more effective, in order to gain a lot of muscle effectively, you need to get rest as well as recovery. So overtraining as well, like doing a lot of sets without having any zero recovery, not having 2 to 3 days of rest, can hinder your muscle growth as well as increase the risk of your injuries. Having injury is very bad, as well as it will basically get rid of effectiveness of your workouts if you don't get the necessary amount of rest as well as recovery that you need. So always think about the intensity of your workouts, basically how hard do you go in your workouts. Depending on that, get the amount of rest and recovery that you need. The third point is basically sufficient amount of nutrition. So basically you need to have a diet with a lot of protein in it. So protein is crucial for your muscle growth. So protein base is basically the building blocks, or which are known as amino acids, that are necessary for repairing and building muscle tissue. Carbohydrates and as well as fats also play an important role in this. So in providing energy for your workouts as well as overall health. So you need carbohydrate as well as fats, but more importantly you need protein as well, because if you don't have protein, you can't grow. So it is stated that according to science, it is stated that around 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein is needed, or 1.6 gram per kilogram of protein is needed in order to maximize muscle growth. So always remember that, and as well as get adequate amount of carbohydrates, stay hydrated, as well as get adequate amount of fats as well, because if you don't get the adequate amount of carbohydrates, what's going to do is that your body is going to use your protein as energy as opposed, because you don't have carbohydrate and fats. So always remember that, get carbohydrates and fats as well. The next one is calorie surplus. So what do you mean by this? So this is also known as a bulk. Basically, it's basically when you increase on 300 calories or 500 calories and add 500 calories and 300 calories to your already existing diet. You understand? So add a bit of more food to your diet, but remember that only go up to 500 calories, because going up more will bring you much more fat, because you're gonna get fatter. Bulk is basically you're gonna add 300 to 500 calories to a diet. But if you would add over the 500 calories, what you're gonna do is that you're gonna get a lot more fat, and you're gonna look like shit. Basically, you are not gonna look good at all. You're gonna get ugly and ugly. So have 500 calories, 300 calories of a calorie surplus. So when you consume much more calories than your body burns, it creates a calorie surplus. So this is also known as bulk, like I said earlier. So this basically provides the necessary energy needed for muscle growth, as well as to repair your muscles. So however, again, I'm telling you this right now because this is really crucial. Remember that do not increase your calories by 500 or more than 500 calories, because it's bad for you. You're gonna get a lot fat as hell. So don't do that. It's ugly and it's unhealthy for you. And remember that in a bulk, you can't just eat whatever you want. Do lean bulk, not dirty bulk. So basically, lean bulk means eat healthy foods. So eat really good healthy foods. Don't do dirty bulk, because in a dirty bulk, what you're going to do is that like foods like pizza and really junk foods like McDonald's and KFC, which are really bad for you. I know you might have seen a lot of influencers on YouTube saying that it's good for you, but it's not, because I'm speaking for experience. I have done this, and you do not want to be in that position. You're gonna hate yourself a lot. Okay, and it took me around 8 months to literally just burn off that fat. Okay, if you just do clean bulk, it will only take like 4 months to burn it off. Just because by doing dirty bulk, you're gonna gain much more weight. Majority of that weight is gonna be fat and not muscles. So, and you're gonna have to get rid of all the fats, and it's gonna take a lot of time. So just do lean bulk, because cutting, when you do lean bulk, cutting means basically like how can I explain, like getting lean, getting rid of the fat after your bulk. It's gonna be very easy for you. Then the next thing is basically, it's not a point, but you have to remember the next point, which is basically like, you don't have to remember it, but just keep in mind it's about that genetics play a major role in determine your muscle growth. So some people may naturally gain much more muscles easily than some other people. So it might be a bit harder for you depending on the genetics. So always remember that don't compare yourself to others, because some people have different genetics, and basically some people will get much more muscles than you would get. And so what I would give advice for you to just don't compare yourself to others. Just basically focus on yourself. And yeah, so yeah, this is basically the 6 points that I want to give you. So 5 points that I want to, or say 5 or 6, I can't remember. Anyway, so those are the points that I want to give you to in order to maximize muscle growth as a beginner. So remember this. I mean, there are a lot more than just this, but as a novice, you only need these sort of points to to maximize your muscle growth. So when you get intermediate or get a bit more advanced like after 1 or 2 years, remember that you always research. Basically after like 1 or 2 more years, there's much more to learn than just this. Okay, so always remember that, like when you get much more advanced, there are many other videos on YouTube as well as on the internet that you can watch in order to gain much more information on or scientific information on how to actually grow muscle scientifically. This is just like a how can I explain this? A video for like the people who want to gain muscles as a noob or a beginner. So these are the only things that you need. Yeah, and I hope this helps you in the future. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end my video now. So subscribe, and like the video if you want. So goodbye.